year was 1918, and the Great War had finally come to an end. All the soldiers were coming home to a brand new nation. Stocks were skyrocketing, automobiles were being churned out by the thousands, and jazz was taking off in all the biggest cities on the East Coast. You know, coming back to something like this, a lot of people were thinking, hey, the war's finally over. Let's just throw everything out the window and just party our asses off. Just drink tons of alcohol, solid plan. Am I right? Yeah, well, the government had something else to say about it. Yep, that's right. Alcohol was illegal. Yeah, the government pulled the biggest party foul in history and made alcohol illegal. In 1918, which was coincidentally the same year the armistice was signed that ended World War I, because of a bunch of religious groups and temperance groups that thought that alcohol was the source of all the world's ills, the government was like, yeah, that sounds right. Let's ratify the 18th Amendment. Looks like no more parties. What the government failed to realize was that alcohol was a big industry. And despite the fact that the manufacturing and selling of alcohol was illegal, the government also failed to realize that there were groups of people in the world that simply just didn't listen to laws. And they were like, hey, I know a great way to make some money. Let's make alcohol and sell it. These groups that banded together to make alcohol and sell it became the basis for organized crime that would exist throughout the 20s. Even kids were forming their own gangs. Yeah, just packs of kids just running around and terrorizing people. That's scary. That is really scary. But yeah, this was the start of the era of the bootlegger. And damn did crime skyrocket. Like, I'm talking really skyrocket. I'm not talking doubling or tripling or quadrupling. The number of federal convictions rose to 566%. That's like, imagine a bucket of water and then 5 more of those buckets and a half, and then all the water inside. What I want to talk about now is a city. It's a city. I want to talk about a city. It's called Chicago. The city of Chicago was just like any other East Coast city, filled with gangs, moonshine, and every other sort of vice that you can imagine. But the reason this city stood out the most out of all the other crazy crime cities in the 20s is because this city was home to the most infamous and notorious gangsters of this time. Yeah, I'm talking about Alphonse Capone. Al Capone. Capone maintained his empire of gambling, drugs, alcohol well into the 30s. But he wasn't a complete bad guy with all this money he was making. Actually, when the stock market crashed, he opened up soup kitchens for those unemployed. So yeah, he was actually an okay guy. But the feds really didn't want any more of Capone. But they were having trouble finding things to convict him of. And what did they finally convict the great Al Capone of? They got him on tax evasion. Because apparently money that you get from illegal activities is taxable. Anyways, that was a short little improvised thing about the organized crime in the 20s. Thank you guys for listening. Sorry if this sounds a little haphazard. I had a script in front of me. I just threw it out. Sounded stupid. So, yes, I hope you enjoy this. Thank you.